Hey guys, today we're going to finish our discussion on the 3-2-3 formation at the 9v9 level. So let's go! For those of you who haven't seen the first video I did on the 3-2-3 formation, I'll go ahead and link that in the comments. But that video is about build out and defending in our defensive third. Today we're going to go over some general principles of attacking in the 3-2-3 as well as pressing. The 3-2-3 consists of 3 players along the back line, including a central defender and 2 fullbacks or wide defenders. The midfield consists of 2 central midfielders, and they can either be set up side by side like this, or sometimes they'll have one that's a little bit higher, one that's a little bit lower like this. And the front line typically consists of a central striker and 2 wings. One quick caveat, guys, these are general principles. So I know I'm going to get asked, what happens in this situation, or what if this team's doing this? And it absolutely depends on how you're getting pressed and what the defenders are doing. But these are some generalized principles you can use and patterns you can use to start thinking about how you're going to unlock a defense. So in general, as I've done in some of my other videos, guys, we're going to start to think about our attack as to where the ball is on the field. So initially, is the ball wide or is the ball central? Okay, so here we have a situation where we've kind of gotten out of the defensive third and we're into our middle third, attacking up the field. And I'm going to add defenders in a minute, but you can see the right fullback, the 2, has the ball here. He's supported from behind by the central defender who's kind of coming over here to be an outlet. Now certainly the goalkeeper could do the same thing. But depending on sort of what's happening, this is usually a little bit easier of an option. The midfielder on the side that the ball's going down, so that's the number 6 here, is providing a central option. The right wing, or the wing on that side, is going to have to make a decision, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But you can see he's sort of right here, and the striker is going to get himself into a position to be what we call a beyond ball. Okay, the other players on the other side of the field are kind of starting to cinch in, kind of starting to kind of move with that ball, kind of cut and come with the ball. So here's a typical defense, and I've just put the defenders in a 3-2-3 as well, just to make it simpler. Now, if they were in a different formation, that certainly could change, but you can see here, again, the ball's wide, it's with our right fullback. And just going through the options, I mentioned initially that the wing on the side, the ball's being attacked, has to make a decision. And really that decision is, are we going to support wide here or not? And it really depends, because if, let's say, this defender here is taking an angle, which he should be, and trying to cut the field off, this could very well be an option. And the ball would just be played here, and then we'd be into space. However, if the defender has closed off this wide option, then the wing may have to kind of cinch into this space. All right, and be an option in here. Now, the wing on the side, the ball's going down on the 9, have to be careful not to come in the same space. So that's really a trigger that the 9 has to see. So if you're going down here and the 7, the wing goes wide, then the 9 very easily can get into this space, okay? And as this guy comes through here, now the options are our 6, central, our 9, kind of in what I call that beyond space, or we can play that ball wide to our wing. So let's play that pattern out if the ball does get wide to our wing. So the right fullback looks at his options, play this ball out here. So now we're in a very dangerous situation where there's space in front of a wide player, and we always want them to take it in this scenario. In fact, we want them to go directly at the defender, mainly because we want the defender to have to make a decision. So the defender certainly can come and step here, and if they do, we can slide this ball into our 9. The defender might also elect to stay and kind of hold the ground. And if that's the case, we want to attack this wide area here. As that happens, everybody is going to cinch in. So this is where we get into the scenario of dedicated runs into the box. I think most of you guys have known from my videos before, I typically keep the same runs. So the striker should be running to the near post, the center midfielder on the opposite side. So this is a little bit different than 7v7. The center midfielder on the opposite side, so this will be the 8, will be running to the penalty spot. The wing on the opposite side will run to the far post, And the center midfielder on the same side of where the cross is coming from will go to what we call zone 14.
Zone 14 is, simply put, an area just outside the 18-yard box centrally where, when you look at shots taken, they have a much higher percentage of scoring a goal than other areas.
So let's now play this out where the ball goes from the wide part of the field into the central area. We just talked about how it stayed wide and what the options were there. Now we're going to talk about what happens when it goes centrally. So in this scenario, the 8 is really the best option. You can see that they're really covering the 9, and let's just say that they've cut off this pass into the 2, from the 2 to the 7. So the ball goes from our right back to the midfielder on this side, the right midfielder, number 8. From there, he has to assess his options. If he's got this much space, he's going to want to attack the player in front of the 9. And the 9 has got to now give him what we call a 45-degree angle. So he has to be able to slip his defender. So he's either got to come out here or he's got to come out here. And it depends a little bit on what's going on with the back line. But in that particular situation, let's just say that he slips him here. If this guy now comes, now we have a ball in here. And this 9 could go ahead and go to goal, maybe get a shot. Could also entice this defender to come in, and now we're playing the ball back out wide on this side, and we're in the exact same situation where we were in terms of our dedicated runs and where everybody were to come. So let's take another look at a situation where the ball comes from our wide area into the center of the field, but this time the defenders are a little bit more compact and a little bit more organized. So the ball comes from our right fullback into our right central midfielder. And he does have some space here, but you can see that it's pretty well defended. And the 9 really can't slip anywhere, let's say. And certainly we can't play the ball to the 6. So what we're looking to do here in this situation, certainly the 8 can take his space to some degree. And then let's say he's closed off a little bit. All of, you have 5, the defenders are almost here, right around zone 14, right in the middle of the field. And the option here would be to go ahead and play it out to our left fullback. Okay, because now what you're setting up is a 2v1 on the other side. And it could get closed down very quickly, but as long as this continues in this particular pattern, the left fullback could come here, the left wing would get wide, and again, you're forcing this defender to make a decision. They either have to step and pressure, which again is going to force the ball out here, and we again are in a situation where we can now take our left wing or our wing, whichever side it's on, and they can get into this wide space and either attack for a shot, attack for a cross, dedicated runs just on the other opposite side of the field. Alternatively, if the 7 elects to kind of stay and cinch here, the 3 could come in and get either a cross or a shot up on their own, try to play balls maybe into this area, and the 9 can kind of come in. Or at some point, the 3 is going to have to get closed down. So you could just come in up until when they get engaged, and then play that same ball out wide again. Okay, let's focus now on the ball being central. So we've gotten out of our defending third, we're in our middle third, we're starting to get into our attacking third, and we want to develop some kind of a pattern or some sort of sequence to give us an opportunity to score. And in this particular scenario, I've just put the ball at our 6, which is in the 3-2-3 formation. This is our left midfielder. And so he has the ball here, and he's got a little bit of space, but not a lot. So initially, where's the support going to come from? And so what I like to do is tell the 9. The 9's got to get into the same spots that we talked about. If when we were attacking wide and our 8 got the ball, it's got to be a 45-degree angle. So you can see here the 9's in the same line as the 6. This is not where we want them. Okay, we want them to either come in here for a ball, or we want them to come in here for a ball. So let's just kind of play this through a little bit and say that the 9 does come through here, and we're able to get the ball to him. Now, this is really critical when the ball is in the center part of the field, but it's also important when it's wide. If you're going to involve the 9 sort of in your patterns of play, especially in the final third of the field, they've got to be able to hold the ball up. Because what happens is if this ball comes here, you're going to get a lot of pressure, either from the 2, the 4, or both. But let's just say the 2 comes here. And now you've got a situation that looks like this. A lot of times, young 9s, young strikers, or just young players in general, will turn and just the ball will get lost. They turn right into the defenders. So a lot of times you only have one touch. So this ball might come in here, and they've got to keep their back to the defender, maybe take 2 touches, receive, and then pass. But if they can, just play one ball out wide, because now we're again in that same situation we talked about where the wing can either attack directly or can attack this space in the wide area and look for a cross with dedicated runs. When attacking down the center part of the pitch is combining with your other midfielder or looking to play directly balls to the wing. So I've set it up here where you can see that there's a clear ball to be played from the left midfielder directly to the left wing. And a lot of times, especially if your 9 has been particularly dangerous or if they scored a goal or two, there'll be a lot of attention on this 9. And as long as you encourage the wing to stay wide, you can play balls directly from the center of the field, in the middle third of the field, by your midfielders, directly to the wing. And then again, you're in a situation to attack down the wide channels. The other option is that sometimes you get into a situation where the other midfielder can be an option. And so again, if that happens, this ball has to be played very quickly, but you certainly could play the ball here into your other center midfielder, which again then takes a space, is engaged here, and now the option would be could play to the 9 here, or even more dangerous, could play a through ball out here to the fullback or to the wing on this side, which again attacks the wide areas and looking for space. So as you're attacking, no matter where you are in the field, you're eventually going to get closed, meaning the defenders are going to close down that space. Now, depending where you are, certainly you could try to go 1v1, things like that, but in general, an overriding concept that is if you are in the center part of the field and you get closed down, you should look to go wide. If you get closed down in the wide areas, you should look to go central. So the last part of the discussion here on our 3-2-3 is talking about how we press out of the 3-2-3. And I've set the opposing team up to build out as a 3-2-3, but it would vary slightly if they were in a little bit different formation. But the concepts are the same. So as this ball gets played out to the opponent's right fullback in this particular situation, where we want the press to start is with our 9. And the 9 is looking to cut the field. And they're going to come at an angle where we want to discourage the fullback here from going back across the field, okay? And if possible, we would like to get in between where their 4 and 2 are. If they're building out the way that they should, their right wing will come down and support, and the cover for that is our left wing. You can see the 11 here. Their 6 should drop down into this space, and our 6 should follow. Now their 8 will kind of cinch over as our 8 should cinch over with them. The wing on the opposite side should cinch over. We're not really worried about their opposite wing. Same thing with our fullback. And once this has sort of happened, we've got to determine what are they going to do with their 9. So a good team should bring their 9 into either this space or this space, okay, to try to be an option as sort of part of this pseudo diamond, as you can see. Basically just trying to get into a beyond space that I always talk about. Now, if they're here, certainly our central center back can go ahead and take them. And if they want to try to play this deep ball way out here, I'm fine with that, okay? Because again, that's a dangerous ball if it were to get picked off, let's say. Now they're in a really hard area. Same with if their 9 comes over here. Now if that happens, our central center back has got to communicate with the left fullback and say, hey, you're marking him. Again, if they want to try to play this ball right in through here, I'm very comfortable with that. We've got 3 defenders, maybe to their 2 or 3, but this is a very difficult ball, 1 to play. 2, even if they get this ball here, this 9 is going to be under tremendous amount of pressure. And as long as the 11 doesn't ball watch and understands that this could be the play and kind of comes with him, there's not going to be a lot of other areas in the field to go except for just back to where it came. Now here's the question, what if they're able to complete a switch? So let's say we're pressing them and the setup looks just like this. And let's say they either go all the way across the fullback to fullback, or they switch it to their goalkeeper. Now, again, a lot of teams aren't able to do this, but let's say that they are. What has to happen is we have to slow them down, okay? Because this is an advantage to them right now. And what you'll often see is your right wing go directly to the ball. That's not what we want to do, okay? What we want, because if that happens, and now we've got a ball out through here, this is almost going to be a 1v1 situation to goal. Now maybe they'll close them down, but I would much rather our right wing stay with the 11, let this fullback take the space, okay? And then either what can happen is our center mid can come over, the 2 center mids can shift, right? So the center mid here comes over to take the pressure, this center mid shifts here. Now, if the 9, the other option too is if the 9 can recover. It depends on where they are. So if the ball gets switched, let's just bring this back here. The ball gets switched and the 9 is able to recover to an angle to be able to get back and be the pressure again, that's ideal. Okay, that's the most ideal situation. Now that doesn't always happen though. So let's say that they can't recover. It's really, to me, the center midfielder, they're both of them really, who have to shift over. Okay, and it should look kind of something like this. Again, the big mistake I often see is when a switch is able to happen, you know, you get the right wing who just can't stop from going after the ball, and then you have this, and it's not necessarily a complete breakaway, but this is a lot more dangerous, right, than just keeping this guys in front of you.
Hey guys, I hope that video helped. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or contact me directly.